everybody, welcome to Super Chicks. I'm Kim.
And I'm Tara.
And we're so thankful that you joined us today. We promised you we'd bring you a video of 3 one-pot rice dishes. 2 of those are going to be a play on chicken and rice, so good, with 1 chicken.
Yeah, only 1. And this yields about 2 pounds of meat, 1 for each recipe.
And we'll talk to you a little bit about that in just a minute.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up some vegetables for the next recipe.
Okay. I want to talk to you about this soup. This is a staple soup that I make at home. It's a cream broccoli soup with cheese and rice. It is so good.
It smells so good.
It does. It smells excellent. We're going to enjoy some of this for lunch. But I really wanted, time-wise, I know that we couldn't prepare all 3 of these dishes.
Right.
So this is going to be on our Facebook page. But I just want to share it with you really quick. I started with 3 tablespoons of butter, low and slow. Sometimes butter can burn, so you want to really start kind of low to just where it's like simmering a little bit. I added 1 small chopped onion and just kind of sweated that onion out a little bit. Got that moisture out, and it took about 3 to 4 minutes to do that. I then added 3 tablespoons of flour and kind of mix it up. Now that is sort of the basis of a roux. It's where I start a lot of my dishes, from soups, cream soups to casseroles. Roux are kind of scary at first.
Yes.
Because when I first started making a roux, it looked like clumpy gravy or something at first, and I didn't know what was wrong. What I've realized is you really have to stick to equal amounts of fat versus flour.
Yes.
And you're looking for a consistency of like melted chocolate, not clumpy gravy. So equal amounts of flour and of some sort of fat, butter, oil, whatever it is, and use that whisk and like whisk it up really good.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to get on it.
And I did that for just a couple minutes. I didn't want my roux to really get dark. I just kind of barely cooked it a little bit.
Okay. And then at that point we added 4 cups of chicken broth, right?
Yeah.
And we had pre-cooked 1 bag of frozen broccoli. And then we chopped that up a little bit, more bite-sized pieces, and added that to the pot as well. Let that cook for just a minute, and then we added 2 cups of minute rice.
Now, minute rice that's a name brand for it, but also it's just an instant rice. It's a parboiled rice that's already half cooked for you, so it has a lower cooking time. So it takes about 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes according to your recipe, but really it's advertised as 5 minutes, and it's pretty true to that. So what I did was I covered it for 5 minutes. I opened it up and added 2 cups of milk in there and 1.5 cups of shredded cheese. Now I used a yellow cheese blend, but you can use cheddar or whatever you like.
Yeah, whatever your preference is.
I just mixed it up, and it's been sitting simmering. And
it smells so good. I cannot wait.
So that's what we're going to have for lunch. But first, we're going to bring you back to this chicken, because this chicken we bought at our local wholesaler for about $5, right?
Yes, yes.
And it does yield 2 pounds of meat.
Yep, light and dark.
Light and dark meat. We know that, you got those white meat snobs out there. I was once, actually. I'm a reformed white meat snob, but it does have dark meat in it, and that is part of it. A great way to try dark meat is to put it in a soup or in a casserole.
Sure.
It has so much flavor, and it's cheap.
Great.
And it's so cheap. But, we need to give those thighs some loving.
A little bit of loving.
They need it too. It's all about the breast, but what about the thighs? We need to love some chicken thighs out there. If you don't, get a pound of white meat chicken.
Right.
It's
Whatever,
totally cool. Totally fun.
Whatever you want to do.
So we're going to start your dish.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Get that warmed up on medium heat. And on your stove, just everybody's stove is different. So whatever your temperature, you don't want to burn it, but medium heat.
Okay. All right. And I'll finish kind of chopping up these vegetables for you.
Okay.
Now, this is more like a home-style chicken and rice, right, Tara?
That's correct. It is.
And it smells like home, because this is carrots, like the holy trinity of a chicken dish.
It is.
So
good. We have 2 carrots. And we have 2 stalks of celery, chopped up bite-sized, and about a small medium onion. I also have 1 garlic clove chopped up, but I'm not going to add that just yet, because garlic does have a tendency to burn. We just want to soften these a little bit. They're going to cook more in the broth, so I just want to get that going on some heat. Add in there. And now I'm going to season it with an all-purpose seasoning. Kim and I both like to make our own seasonings.
We do, and we are going to be excited to share that with you guys soon. We kind of have our own seasoning blend that we like to use. It's so fresh and so good, so we will definitely be sharing that with you guys. And Tara, I'm going to garnish with some green onion. I'm going to kind of just start chopping this up for you.
Okay, that would be great. I like to do just a little bit of a fresh bite at the end. I also add, this is a broth recipe, but I do add some either heavy cream or evaporated milk to give it a creamy consistency. So that fresh bite of the green onion at the end is so good. Okay, so we're just going to let this saute for a minute. And again, you don't want to brown them. You just want to soften them a little bit, let them sweat.
Let them sweat out.
Get some flavor out into the pan.
And we know that you guys, I mean, I don't have Tara with me all the time cooking for sure. Usually I have a little boy strapped around my ankle crying. Yeah. But, which is so good.
And mine's just the opposite, but a girl.
Yes. And we know that, so time-wise, you know, we don't expect you to make all three of these dishes. We just wanted to show you how easy it is to do that. But if you have an extra Sunday afternoon, these really only take about 10 to 15 minutes each to prep and to cook. So it's really simple and easy dishes to do.
Yes, you can prepare them in advance and enjoy them during the week. That's what I do sometimes on the weekend.
All right, I know that we shredded a chicken, and it's kind of like, it's just a little mixture of shredded chicken. It's so easy to do, especially for these store-bought brands. If we were to go to the grocery store and buy a roaster ourselves, you can get a bigger chicken, sometimes up to 7 pounds, which will yield more meat, which you could even probably put into like the soup, which would be really good.
Sure.
But the store-bought brands are a little bit smaller. They yield about 2 pounds of meat, which is plenty for 2 dishes.
Okay, so I just added that garlic clove, let that sweat a little bit in there, get some flavor. It smells so good. I love when garlic hits the pan.
And then we are going to use brown rice with this dish, which I think is just, it gives it such a nutty flavor.
It does.
I love using a variety of rices. I grew up probably just on the regular old white rice. But the brown rice, there's jasmine, there's all kinds of different kinds of rices that I've really enjoyed
try
using.
some new stuff. Don't be afraid to try something new. Now today we're going to use a quick cooking rice. Again, you know, on the weekend if you have time, you're welcome to use a long variety or, you know, long grain variety. This has already been parboiled, like Kim was saying earlier with the other rice. It's just easier for a weeknight meal, very simple, but still has a great flavor.
It's really easy to cook quick, you know. When you get home, if you've been working, or you only have a few minutes to throw together your meal, to use these little tips. That has really helped us a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 cups of brown rice. Again, instant variety. I like to toast it with the vegetables. They start to cook and absorb some of that flavor. It just really has a great flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there and let it toast.
So good.
Let some of the rice absorb that flavor. Okay, and then again, this is a broth recipe. So we're going to use 1 quart or 1 container of broth. So, you know, if you have homemade, great, but store-bought's wonderful.
So it yields about 4 cups of broth. You can get these in all different kinds, from organic free range to low sodium. Broth is one of the staples that I keep around my house, especially when it's like a BOGO. We like load up on the broth where I have chicken, beef, vegetable broth. And really just load it up. It's so good. And you can start so many recipes with just broth.
I'm going to move this over. This is going to simmer for a few minutes. You know, let it cook up that rice, absorb that broth, and then basically it's going to be ready. We'll add some garnish and
10 minutes. 10 minutes on that. So that's going to give me enough time to start my dish. And Tara, if you could combine those onions, and then I'll need them in just a second.
Okay, I'll do that.
Now I'm also going to start on a medium heat, medium to low on my stove, with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to sweat out that onion too, to get it a little bit translucent. This is a quick meal. It's only going to take about 5 minutes to cook after I sweat this onion out.
There you go.
So it won't take long. So you do kind of want to get the onion on this a little bit tender, because otherwise it will be a little crunchy.
I love the smell of onions.
Okay, so let me tell you how easy this is going to be.
Okay, are you ready?
This is all we do. We just pour it in.
Okay.
First, we're going to start with 1 10-ounce package of frozen corn. And then we're going to do 2 cups of salsa. Now, I'm using jarred salsa. This dish is so easy. 1 cup of chicken broth.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of give this a little stir.
Okay.
And then we have the 1 pound of the diced chicken.
Now remember, that came from the one rotisserie. We had 2 pounds of meat, 1 for the home-style chicken and rice, and 1 pound for the southwestern chicken and rice.
Now, this is going to be brought to a little bit of a boil. I'm going to add the 1½ cups of minute rice. Give it a stir. And look how easy that is. That's all I do. I add it all together. Stir it up.
Okay.
I'm going to put the top on it. And that's going to be it. 5 minutes, this is going to be done. I'm going to fluff it with a fork when it's done, and that is it. What's up with your chicken?
I'm going to check on it.
Okay.
Simmering away over here, doing good. Doing great. I like the consistency of it. You know, if you like yours a little soupier, you can add some more water at this point. I wouldn't add any more broth. It might be a little too salty.
Now, you've already seasoned it.
Right,
so.
we've already seasoned to taste. So, okay, at this point, we're going to add the chicken, if you want to hand that to me. And I like to add my chicken at the end because if you cook it too long in the broth, it kind of gets a stringy, breaks apart. So you want to keep those chicken pieces whole.
Just right there at the very end.
Just going to dump that in. Keep that in there. And then this is where I'm going to add my cream. Again, this is evaporated milk, 1 cup. And you can change the consistency, you know, add a little more or a little less if you want. Or heavy cream. It really soaks it up. It becomes a really creamy mixture.
And so you have this like home style chicken and rice dish, and you have this sort of a Mexican salsa chicken and rice dish. You have 2 completely different things. I really think they're kid friendly. Kids are really going to love it. Your husbands are going to be happy.
Yep.
And let's let that simmer for just a second, and let's get us some soup mix because I think that
would be great. I've got some cheese over here that we can put on top for a little bit of garnish.
This smells so good. We have chicken and rice for dinner, and we have soup for lunch. Perfect. Popular at my house, and like I said, it has the ability you could add the chicken into it.
Sure.
But if you don't have chicken one night,
yes,
then you can easily just eat it as it is. So we got our rice dishes on the oven. We're about to enjoy this nice pot of soup. It's rainy a little bit today, so there's nothing better to eat than soup. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tune in next week.
Yep.
Because we're going to do 3 dishes with ground beef.
Ground beef.
Ground beef. We're going to really show you how to jazz up some ground beef. So
everybody uses it. You know, you get tired of cooking it the same old way, just like chicken. So we're going to give you 3 one-pot meals to give you some different variations on that. So look forward to that.
That's good. Thank you guys so much. Go to our Facebook page and share your super one-pot recipes. We look forward to hearing from you guys. And just thanks.
Yeah. Facebook.com/SouperChicks.
SouperPer. Thanks, guys. See you guys again.
That is so pretty.
Yum.
Right, see you next time.
Okay, see you guys later.